Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain.
Who are you?
Anyway, what's up, Rye?
Chilling, man. Thanks for the invite.
Nah, dog, I appreciate you coming.
First time.
First
doing
time for
this.
everything, right?
I'm usually a shy, nervous guy. Stick to myself.
Yeah.
But how's the box right now?
Shy and nervous until they get to know you.
Tiny little sips of alcohol.
Exactly. No, this is the first time to the house.
Yeah,
Everything,
it is.
right?
It is. Nice,
Yeah.
nice. Thank you.
No, I appreciate it, man. I mean, this is my first time really kind of doing something like this as well, but yeah, it's just gonna see what happens.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
What we talk about.
Yeah, yeah. All that stuff. That's
Everything.
everything. That's the purpose of it, right?
Uncut.
Huh?
Uncut.
Uncut, yeah. Well, as uncut as we can be in our positions, right? But people that watch the league, you know, they see us as these players, or they build an idea of who we might be based off what they see.
Right,
Even in these little interviews, these quick interviews with the league and the courtside reporters and stuff. So I've always wanted to do something like this, so people can see the real side of me. But then I think it's important that people see the real side of us as players in general, just to understand that we're fucking human. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I mean, you know how it is with fans and people feeling entitled to our time, or
Right.
and that's part of it for us. That's what we signed up for. But I think especially now with how quickly information and spreads and social media, people get a chance to be able to see the real us. And for me, it's been important to try to portray myself and show myself as authentically as I can, so people get an understanding of, like, there's more to it than this stone cold killer looking guy, you know what I mean, with the shaved head and all that. So
Yeah, I got scared at first.
you still kind of scared, I can see. Nah, there's only a handful of people that, you know, able to break through it, and that's why I think I've seen you as someone that I can, you know, trust and be close to. After how many years is it now?
Shoot. 18?
We met 18 years ago, right?
No, more. It's 19. 2005.
19 years, right? Exactly.
19.
Jeez, yeah.
Yep.
So, you know, whether it be time or whatever, from the beginning, you've always been able to kind of break past my, like, stoic barriers and find ways to, like, get through to me. And we've gotten cool because, for me, I've seen you as somebody that, you know, I can trust in because of that.
Right.
Is that something that you've, like, always been? Like, you've always been that kind of guy that kind of bridge gaps or, like, find a way in?
I was, you know, I'm always just the guy that just goes with the flow. Like, you know, try to fix things, you know, try to make things where, you know, something's not right. Let me help them out. Let me try to fix this. If that's, you know, like, I try to do what I feel will make things better for the team, for me, for a person, if I can help them or whatnot. So, yeah, basically, I try to do that stuff.
Where's that come from?
Man, maybe from my mom, just seeing it, because she's does everything. Like, she's super trustworthy from everybody.
Yeah.
She got, you know, scammed a couple times and all that. That's how trustworthy she is. Like,
Right.
Like, she trusts everybody. But just seeing how she was growing up and helping people, helping her sisters, brothers growing up and everything. The family, as they migrated to the States, staying with us in the house and everything till they got comfortable and good and went on their own when they can. So I think that's where I got it from, just where I try to help people, try to help as much as I can, whether it be life, basketball on the court, anything, you know, anything I can do to help somebody, I just do it.
Where's your family from originally?
In the Philippines?
Yeah.
My mom's from like Manila, Caloocan area. Her mom is from Pampanga. Her dad's from Caloocan.
So your mom's Kapapangan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And my dad's side's from Batangas.
Okay.
Yep.
And then they migrated
in the States. They met out there in L.A.
It's been there ever since.
Yeah, been there ever since.
L.A. Born and raised, right?
Born and
high
raised.
school,
Yep,
college.
high school, grew up.
Yeah.
Yep. Filipino community in Cerritos, California.
Yeah.
Good city. Yeah. Gotten a lot of stuff out there too, though.
Good and bad, I'm sure.
Both. More bad than good.
Right.
Yeah, I was a bad kid. Doesn't seem like it, but
That's usually the case, right? Like when somebody talks about like how bad they used to be or whatever, it's usually the best people. You know what I mean? Like I'll meet somebody and it seems like they have all their stuff together. Like, wow, this is a really nice person. And then they talk about their past and they're like, whoa,
oh, man,
you did some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was a menace.
Yeah.
I was a menace.
Well, you still kind of bully. You be bullying us sometimes. So
I do, huh? Yeah, I do.
That's
Just
part of
messing
you.
around.
Yeah.
I do. That's part of me.
You went to school for kinesiology? What was that?
Yeah. Well, I wanted to be a PT, physical therapist.
Oh, okay.
Just because I had, friends that when I played basketball with growing up, they were all going into like a medical field, whether radiology, PT, nurse, doctor, or whatever. A lot of them were PTs. So just seeing it, telling me, oh, I can make this and I can make that. I was like, oh, shoot. Okay, that's a lot of money, Let me try doing that. And at the same time, I'd be around sports and everything. So that's why I went into that route. It was either radiology or kinesiology physical therapist. And that's how I did that.
Were you already like serious with ball at that point?
I was, yeah. That's how I came out here. It was either PBA or get into the program at Cal State Fullerton and start. So it was like, what do I choose?
Sounds like the fallback, like
just
in case.
Yeah.
When did you get serious about ball?
Oh man.
Like when you knew, like, this is something I want to pursue for real.
Professionally or just to play and see
Like,
where it goes?
Yeah, I think we all get to that point where it's like we don't know how far we're gonna go, but we're gonna go to see how far we can go.
Man, shoot. So I started playing basketball maybe around 10 years old, and then I was, playing in, like the city leagues. So and then I was like, a level up than other kids. I'd make the all-star team, the city team, and we'd travel and doing all that. So from there on, I just love basketball. It's something that I excelled at. I played all sports, football, baseball, soccer, did all that. But it was just basketball that was my love. I liked it. That's where, like, I made me. They know, oh, that's Ryan. He played, he's nice. That's the guy that's, good, like, good. In my city, in my area. So that's what made me kept playing. And then I think just going into high school, that's when I started getting serious, where my travel coach he was telling me, because we have all kind of high schools around the area, and I didn't even go to the high school where I'm supposed to go. I went to a different one that had a better basketball program and everything. My travel coach brought me there. Met the coach over there in high school. He was like, all right, cool. Try out for the team. I made varsity. My freshman, not even in freshman year yet. They're like, you're good. But that coach, that year when school started, the coach left. The varsity coach left. So now I was stuck, like, playing on the freshman team. So I did that 1 year on the freshman team at Gar. This is at Gar High School in Cerritos. I played on the freshman team, and that 1 year did well. We won league and everything. And then my coach was like, hey, we're out of here. We're out of this school. We're going somewhere else. Because the varsity coach then didn't want me in. He's a freshman. He can't play yet. He's too young. He's too small or whatnot.
So that coach took you out of that?
Yeah, my travel coach took me out. He took me out. Let's go to a different school.
Wow.
He's like, a way better school, Artesia. Known school in L.A. area. Bannon Brothers went over there. Capono recently. Superstar James Harden is from there, alumni. So I went to school there and played with Capono. Played with Capono for a year. Yeah, a year.
Wow.
It was funny because I was that summer league going from that Gar High School to Artesia. It was a summer league game. It was kind of like my tryout. My travel team coach was like, all right, these are the guys on the team you need to pass to. Pass to this guy. oh no, pass to this guy. I forgot who it was, but anyway, but I was like, okay, because I was a point guard. I played point guard in high school.
Right.
Played point guard. So that's all I did. I just passed to Jason. Passed to Jason. Passed to Jason. Just kept shooting,
Did you
scoring.
average like 15 assists?
Man, he was crazy.
That guy was a crazy shooter. Yeah.
Coming down, shooting half court, high
Right.
school and everything. But yeah, he was nice. He was nice. So after that one game, they talked to my travel coach and was like, bring him in. So I transferred. I transferred to that school.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you played with Jason, you said?
I played with Jay for 1 year.
1 year.
So my sophomore year, he was a senior.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow, man.
Yeah. And it's crazy because as a kid, like now, how I'm like thinking about it in my mindset, I was just going with the flow, not thinking about like, hey, this school can bring you to a college, get you a scholarship or whatnot. I was just playing, having fun. You know, basketball was fun as a kid.
Right.
Like I loved it. I just played to have fun. Wasn't thinking about, I'm gonna get a scholarship. You know, let me go to the pros after this or whatever. You know, I didn't know anything about that stuff. I was just playing, going with the flow that day. Like, my coach was like, all right, you have a game over here. Long Beach, Jordan, play with our teacher team. I'm like, all right, I'll go. My dad takes me to the game. I play and thinking nothing of it. Like I just played, went home, and that's it.
Right.
Not trying to like.
Yeah.
I wasn't even trying to like. I need to be on this team. I just played.
Right.
I just played. It's weird.
I wonder if that has something to say with how far you've gotten and what you were able to do. Because I was the same way, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was just talking with someone recently, like how I quit my first year of varsity. I quit midway and tried to come back, or like I just didn't take the ball seriously until I did. But even like growing up, I didn't think about the PBA. I didn't even think about like I'm working towards the NBA. I was just like exactly that. Like I'm just gonna play. But nowadays, like these kids in high schoolers, college, they're thinking about, like they're in high school thinking about NBA already, or like setting up, and then they have people who set up their plan of like how we're going to attack this. We need to get to this certain high school so that we can get this type of exposure for whatever. And I wonder if that takes away from like one, building the passion for the sport, two, being able to just focus on just becoming the best player you can for the sake of becoming the best player that you can. I think it takes, when you make a kid focus so far ahead that they can't be in the present, I feel like it just takes away from it. Now you think about college, guys can get paid now, which is great. But then to what extent does that take away from them just learning how to grind when there is no, pot of gold?
Right.
You know what I mean?
They want to get to that.
Yeah, at some point it clicked for me where it's like, this is what I want to do. I want to become the best that I can become. And I know that at some point it can pay off, but right now I don't have anything. So I need to work my ass off so that I can get to that thing. You know what I mean? Like, obviously we knew that there's NBA. We knew that there's PBA. We knew that there was some sort of reward that we can reap from this thing. But right now I'm not getting that. So all the more I need to work, because all these other guys are working their ass off too, right? You have your sons. I have mine. They're into ball. They really wanna do this thing. Obviously, they're not getting paid, so they still have that innocence of, I'm gonna do all I can to be good, right? And I kind of worry about that for them moving forward. Where now, so my eldest Charlie, he's in his freshman year, and he's gonna have the better he gets, the more he's gonna have coaches and people coming around him like, this is what you need to do,
right,
and this is what's ahead of you if you and then kind of taking his eyes off the actual prize, which is what I tell them is greatness. Like, that's you're on a path of greatness, and this is what it's gonna take. Let all that other stuff worry about itself. Like, what do you think? I mean, because we see this stuff every day, right? Like on Instagram. Like, do you feel like there's we know there's a divide, but like, what do you feel about like all these incentives and things, incentivizing these kids at an early age?
Man, of course, like these kids want to get to the top. It's just how they get there. Like, what kind of guidance do they have? Like, what kind of coach are these people that are by his side have the right plan, mindset, or where it's benefits the kid and not them? You know, you got coaches that are probably like, or like that are they see a kid. Oh, this guy has potential. Is he thinking about the kid or is he thinking about himself? Like, let me try to keep this kid as long as I can, so he trusts me. If I can take him here, there, and at the end, if he gets to that top level, maybe he'll break me off a couple. So that's how people think.
Yes.
But I think it's if they have that right group around him, that they just think about the kid, and that kid is focused and just guided by the right people. Guided by the people like you, like me, us telling our kids, like, hey, forget about all that stuff right now. This is what you need to do. We've been there. We know what we need, like what needs to be done. The hours, the sweat, blood, sweat, tears. What they say. This is what you need to do. We have the blueprint.
Yeah.
Right. So now it's up to them if they want to do it. How far will they go? What will they do to get there? And you'll see it in these kids. Some kids do it, some kids don't. Like, I'm gonna play basketball, but I got friends here, or I gotta play video games, or I'm on my phone. Some other kids are like, hey, Dad, let's go to the gym, let's shoot, or hey, and I'm calling Tristan, my son. I call him. Oh, what are you doing? Oh, I'm just watching the game. I was like, okay. Who's winning? Lakers or whatever. During that time, he's like, okay. He's like, I'm just watching and seeing how their plays or what they do, pick and rolls and all that, dribble handoffs. I'm like, how old was he? He was like 11 or 12, and I'm like, damn, they're thinking like that already.
Right.
I wasn't thinking that.
Nah.
I was just watching the game, like, oh yeah, we won.
Exactly.
But like, just how these kids are now. Just if they have the right group, again, the right mindset and all that, that's what take them to the next level.
Yeah.
Forget about all these other, teams that were like, we're sponsored by this, that we'll give you shoes, jerseys, bags, all that, nice outfit.
Exactly. It's funny. Like when I was in the States for 2 months prior to coming back for training, right? With the boys, spending time, and we did almost every weekend we went to a tournament. Right. And right in the first, it wasn't even a tournament that I went to. I went to, the boys had a summer camp that they were part of, like a 4-day summer camp.
Right.
And I was sitting there with Charlie watching his brother Roman in their age group working out and doing stuff. And I saw some of the kids that I had seen the year prior. Mm-hmm. And I asked Charlie, like, isn't that so-and-so? And Charlie's response was like, who, the one in the Jordans? I'm like, the Jordans? I'm like, no, the kid right there, no, next to him. He was like, oh, the one in the Hardens. I'm like, right. Okay, that was weird. Like, all he saw was shoes, right? And then, so flip, maybe later on that day or the next day, now me and Roman are watching Charlie. And I was like, oh, isn't that so-and-so from whatever his brother plays? And he's like, oh, you talking about the ones in the Kobe's? I'm like, and I asked him, like, what are you guys, what do you see when I'm like, you guys are just seeing shoes? And then I realized, like, so many kids are just looking, like, they just see, like, they're so worried about the aesthetics. Like the shoes and my hair has to be right and the jersey's got to look a certain way. I'm like I get it. Like I know it's something, guys want to style and look good and I get that. But like, I almost feel like it's that's the priority now. Like if I look good and I got the right shoes on, I'm a baller now.
Oh, okay.
Like dog, like no, that doesn't, no. You know what I'm saying?
Your game got to do this.
100%, dog. I grew up, I had one pair of shoes for school, basketball, church, everything was this one pair of shoes, and I wore those things until the sole comes off. So there was a lot of our conversations. A lot of my conversations with the boys was like that stuff really don't matter, dog. Like you got to get in and get this work in, and the focus is how can you get better. So like with Tristan watching the game, the same thing with boys. Like I tell them all the time, like you need to be studying. All right, like
Studying the game. Yep.
and going back to what you said, like the big thing is if I have to tell you to get in the gym, or if I have to tell you that you need to take care of your body or get your rest or whatever, you're already behind.
Right.
So like a lot of our conversations in the last couple of months is that like it's nobody can pull you. I don't care how great the coach is or how well intended or meaning that person is to try to get you somewhere. If they have to pull you out of bed every day, if they have to pull you out of the house to do and work on the things that you say you want to do, you're most likely not going to get too far, right? It can help you in the beginning, like the early stages, right, as you're understanding and learning. But in my experience, and not only with myself, but all the players that I've seen and been around, if you don't have that mentality, you're probably not going to get too far.
Not too far.
Yeah. That's in anything in life, to be
Yes.
honest, right? It's not just sports. That's just in everything. Like nobody, because when you get older,
Right.
you're on your fucking own. In college, even, right? Like going to classes.
Yeah. It's up to you.
Mama's not waking you up
Exactly.
to, making sure you get on that bus in time or get this class. It's like either you get someone to sign you in, you learn the game, like sign you in or whatever. But for the most part, you're gonna miss those classes. That's on you.
Yeah,
exactly. So
yeah, like they always say, when growing up, I always heard, if you're not working, someone out there is working harder.
100%.
100%, right?
Yeah.
I always heard that as a kid. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I worked. After hearing all that, I worked. Yeah. Because we wanted to be somewhere.
Yeah.
It came from within us. Like, okay, that's what needs to be done. Then that's what we do.
Yeah. And I know that's how I grew up. And something I saw in you early on. That's why because you came in my second year, right?
Yeah.
To the league. And
I still remember that.
yeah, for sure. Those nights we were with the Sabana Hillier and crying ourselves to sleep because we're homesick and all of that. So we built that bond. But I watching you play, because we didn't get to play together at that time. I think you were injured, right? When I came in, you were injured, so we didn't get to play. You went back to California for a little while. I ended up going to the draft, and then you came back that year, played PBL, right? And I remember watching you. And so when we said we were getting you in the draft, I was super excited. Like, for one, you were like my first person, like my boy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's coming. But I knew that's what we needed because I had played a year with them already or whatever. And so that's why when I put the jacket on you at your draft, I was like,
yeah.
You remember what I said?
Man. You got to remind me.
I put the jacket on you, right? And I was like, you ready to win a championship?
Yes. Because I remember when you put that jacket on, I put the sleeve on, I think I hit Boss Buddy in the face.
Did you?
I think so. That's what I remembered. But
that was...
so yeah, there was a picture where I was just smiling. It's because I think I,
Pop went through. Because the sleeves were probably too small and he just shot through.
Actually, the jacket was too big.
Right. Everything was too big back then. Yeah, Boss Buddy.
Because I think you guys were supposed to draft someone else.
Were we?
I think so.
What we didn't. What pick was that?
Third.
Third pick. That's right.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm glad I went over there. Coach Boyd, man, shout out to him.
Oh man, yeah, Coach Boyd's he's still one of my favorites, man. He let us play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He still had structure, but he let us play. I think that's what really allowed us to
just be comfortable.
Yeah.
Just be comfortable, have fun.
Find out our identity in the league. Yeah, he was great, man. I love player coaches. Like he was very clear he was a player, right? Right?
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah.
he knew when he could push us and he knew when not to. He knew when to lay off. I was talking with Lamont when I was in the States, and he always brings up that one practice where I just came back from I was out from being sick, right? And I think it was his rookie year, and he was like, Coach Boyd was trying to split us up for shirts and skins. You remember that?
Yeah.
And he said he was kind of like sitting from like a bird's eye view, and he sees Boyd, he sees me, he sees you from across the court. He's like, all right, Kelly, skins. And I looked at him like,
Oh.
didn't even say anything, like, nah, I'm not putting it on. And he said, he looked back at Coach Boyd. Boyd's like, Ryan, skins. You're like, man, he's like, what am I getting myself into? And he's like, Charles, skins. I know you like it.
He was probably like, yeah, all right. Let's
Yeah,
go.
exactly. Like a beach body. But yeah, that was the beauty and like of a coach like Boyd. He's able to adjust and understand where guys are at that time. He was able to give the space and lenience to guys like Marlou and Dennis.
Right. He knew how to manage players.
Exactly.
Like
where they were.
Time. Okay.
Yeah.
But I'll get back to what I need to tell him.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah. I always had problems with the coaches or the systems, team systems, where they force everybody down the same funnel, expecting everybody to do the same thing, like high school. Like it's more like a high school, college mentality.
Right.
I think in sports, just like in life, you deal with people where they are as individual. The more personal you are with them, I think the more you get from them. Right. Like I said, anytime I was forced down, the same funnel as everybody else, the less I felt seen, and the less you would get from me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm trying to fucking control me. Yeah. No, but Chuck was when we first got to talking Tex, he was really good at treating guys as professionals.
He was.
And able to deal with each of us individually.
Because, imagine our lineup back then. First five, second five was like a first five.
Yep.
The third five was like a first five, too.
Right.
We were deep.
Yeah.
And imagine all those guys, can be superstars in other teams, but you're able to be like, play this role, do this role. And at the same time, there's no egos. Or if there were, he knew how to control that.
Yeah.
He knew how to talk to the person, talk to the player. Like, this is what we need to do. Like, look at the bigger picture of winning a championship.
Right.
You need to do this. This is what you need to do. Like, I already know you can score 20, but Ryan, I need you to play defense.
Right.
Kelly, I need you to rebound. Like, run. Was that? Were you sprinting down? What was he call that?
Rim run.
Rim run.
Yeah.
I need a rim run.
Yeah.
Put back. All that stuff. Ali, I just need you to play defense or whatever, Yeah. Because anyone, man, all of our team, anyone could score 20 any given night.
Yeah, literally, it's how
any
it
given
went.
night.
Yeah.
And then we all bought in.
Yeah.
So that's how I think great teams are formed. Is when everyone buys in.
Yeah, and I think it also what's big with that particular group, those first few years with the team, we all understood that. We all understood that we know we all can start.
Right.
So it was easy to be like, all right, well, if I'm not starting, these guys are far. You know what I mean? There's a reason.
Right.
Because we all understand. Whether we got subbed out, sometimes we get subbed out 5 at a time.
Yeah,
we did. Right?
Messing up.
If the starters, first 3 minutes, okay, here we go, 5 new guys. And we got it. We rarely, bitched about that. Or we never, I don't think at any point we bitched or cried about it.
Did. Yeah, no one did. Everyone was just happy for each other.
Yeah, exactly. The level of respect we had for each other and understanding that anybody can play and play these positions. So at that time, I had no issues. You want me to play defense and run to the rim and that's it? Makes
cool.
sense.
Yeah.
Because I know there's a Jimmy Alapog trailing and probably going to hit the three. Here comes Harvey Carey storming and JD's going to be, you know what I mean? Like we had all these pieces that we just respected each other and understood how to play the game. And like you said, bought into coaches' plan and vision for the team.
Yeah, his philosophy of basketball then. I'm still thinking about it right now. It's just, wow.
I still always do, man.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's I think it's a good thing. I don't know if that's bad. Like,
maybe it's bad if we think about it and like compare.
in comparison, right? No, and I think it's like that for me sometimes.
It's gonna be hard not to have that, like that same, that's kind of. I mean, you can build towards that. Right. It won't be the same, but you can build towards that because Larry's gonna be his Larry. Jimmy's a Jimmy.
Right. Right.
Those guys are their own special, player.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. I mean, that's where I try to catch myself. Because there are times where, we might be having a shitty game currently, like this currently meaning like the last 3 years. And whether it's on the court or off the court, we have some stuff going on. My first instinct is to think back to how it used to be. Right. And that would make me angry. Like, fuck, we're such a far cry from that. Right. But like you said, I think there are times where I'm like, how can we get... So I know this is the bar, and I know what we did is a recipe for success if we can do certain types of things, put leadership in this sort of way and get guys to buy in. And that's the healthy part of it, trying to find the lessons in what was. And not necessarily hanging on to them. I think there's a big difference. You'll see guys, it's like holding on to the glory days and can't let go. Right. Honestly, like, and I get so many, I don't know how it is for you. And this is one of the reasons why I try to stay away from social media and not be so engaging on it, I guess. Because I get all these messages still about like, what's wrong with the team or suggestions from the experts of what we should be doing or asking about certain players. And it's not like it's stressful to get. I just don't want to see the shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I'll also miss a lot of messages from people. And I'm like, I'm not checking my DMs this week because after a game, especially if it's a loss, I know for sure I'm going to have like 10 messages from randoms talking, asking stuff about the team. But
people that don't know crap.
Yeah, they don't know. And yeah, I mean, they always have that.
They don't even watch the game live, so what do they see?
Exactly. Right? Yeah, exactly. I get people who don't even watch the game at all.
Period.
They're watching highlights. They'll see a highlight and just comment on like, people are just ridiculous. This generation of, or this era of, fans or spectators is crazy to me. But I say all that to say, like, to go back to what we were talking about, I do see, like, one of the big differences between then and now for us is just we've moved around so many guys that it's hard to keep a consistent, like, energy in the atmosphere that we want to build. So it's like every time we bring someone in new, we have to almost like reset everything and try to figure out where people are placed. Whereas before, when we were making that string of runs, a trade was like,
right.
We're trading? Like, even when we first got there, it was like, oh, wow, Mac's getting traded. Yeah. Like, that was huge, right?
Right, it was.
And then the breakdown, and then we had a string. We kept guys for the long haul pretty much in that 2 year span, however long we were winning all those championships.
I think it was more.
Was it more than that? I don't remember. It was a while. Cause
like 3.
Chalk left, 2013, 2012 or something like that?
13 maybe?
It was 2012, I think, because we won with Coach Norman his first conference. It was all Filipino.
When was that?
Because that was like going into, I think, February 2013.
Okay.
We won it.
Yeah. 'Cause
Right.
we got traded into TNT
2010.
2010.
Yeah. So it was about
So
a 2.5 year run.
No,
Yeah.
almost 3.
There weren't many movements then. So a lot of our trust was built off the fact that the security of who we had around us.
Mm-hmm.
We spent so much time together. We traveled. We went to Dubai and spent the night in the desert in Qatar.
Right.
We did so much stuff together, and we knew we were going to be together. Right. Where now there's just so many movements and so many questions, and guys worried about their security on the team and if they're even going to be there next conference. Right. I think that's a big difference to then. And I get it. That's a big job for coach to try to find the right mixture of guys, and also big bosses and management are seeing it from a different level, a higher perspective as well. So what their idea and vision for the team is always going to be different than ours as players.
Right. It is.
Right. We're seeing it from ground zero because we're out there and we're doing the work. We're in the war. So it's a tough job for them, but I do see that as one of the biggest differences with the then and now. And there's a lot of frustration in it for me, and I'm sure for you as well, because these younger players do now come to us with the questions of what they should do.
Right.
Because their contract is like this, or coach is playing them like this, and and we're trying to figure out our own shit as players still, but then now we've now transitioned to player kuya, player vet, and so we have to see things from that perspective too. Is that something you've been conscious of, trying to? I know we've had our conversations about what we need as leaders and what we should do for the team.
I mean, with that, it's more like I said, from the beginning, I try to fix things to where everything's good. So if a player's having problems or if he has concerns, you got to address that in some way, whether it be management, us vets or whatnot, because he's worried about something or he needs some help or something. So we don't want him being all messed up in the head mentally when we got an important game the next day. So how do we as vets fix that? How do I, as me and myself, as a player and as a person, help this guy? Yeah. And that's what needs to be done, especially for a team to be a family, right? I'm helping you. You're my brother, man. We're going war out there. I got to make sure your mind is clear. You're focused on the goal, winning that game, winning the championship. I don't want anything clogging your mind. If you have any problems, you come to me. Come to Kuya Kales, Kuya Jason, or anyone. Let's try to fix things. And that's what they've been coming to us. I'm glad we had great leaders before us that we learned from and got, asked questions from and brought that in, within our veteran leadership. But that's the stuff that we got to take care of now because we're vets. Because, like I said, if there's something wrong with a piece in, the link, then we can be broken. And it can be a chain reaction. But then Joe Loss needs to fix that sometimes.
Yeah, no, totally.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
or any team manager, it's not just Joe Loss. Some team managers before.
Totally.
I'm saying Joe Loss now because it's
he's
now
the current,
current. But stuff like that needs to be addressed. Because you don't want guys thinking about bullshit in their, that's clogging their mind.
Yeah.
And,
how many times have we seen? And it's not a knock. It's not a knock on the on Jolas or whoever is in this position. But over the years, how many times have we seen guys clearly, visibly, not in it, going into a playoff game that we need to win because of the contract, or
family issues.
Exactly.
My kid's in the hospital, or or we're in a bubble out or whatever.
Right. I mean, there's obviously there's some things that are completely out of our control, like the family stuff or
Right.
health stuff. You know what I mean? We can't control when a wife gets sick or a kid gets, something happens to the kid, which we've seen, you know. But within the stuff that could be controlled, I think that's what I've had a problem with over the years. So that's why I always mention the contract stuff or things that I would say, I don't even like using the word should, but things that could be better handled from like more timely isn't. And I think that's also another big
Right.
difference between, our winning teams and the ones who always kind of underachieved.
Right.
Right. But it's a tough balance. Like looking at it from a higher perspective, taking myself out of it, not seeing it from a player's perspective, but from the overall whole. It's a hard balance, and that's why it's not easy. That's why you got to cherish these fucking championships when you get them, because so many pieces had to be put together, and so many things had to go right.
For it to happen.
You're right. It can't. You just don't have. It's not always the best players.
Yeah, it's not.
It's the team.
It's the right balance.
It's the
right
balance
team,
with team. Exactly.
People buying in.
Yes.
And all that stuff with what their roles are.
Absolutely. From team manager all the way down to utility.
Utility. Yeah.
Right. It's a whole working organism. And so that's what I'm mindful of when I go in. So to simplify it for myself, I got to the point where there's so many things happening that like I almost can't think about all these things. Like, what's my purpose? And so since I've been back from the last retirement, it was like, I'm coming in for these guys. I'm coming in for the players, my brothers who I'm going to war with. Rain, sleet, or snow, hell or high water. Like, whether it's issues, if there's issues that's happening around us, coaches, team manager, whatever's happening, I'm not going to allow that to fuck with me anymore. I'm coming in, I'm doing the work because the guys I'm fighting with are also coming in every day, right?
Yeah.
So I kind of had to simplify it for myself. But I think it's important for players to understand that however you see it, especially within the business of the league, you have to find that thing that's greater than yourself. It could be a spiritual thing, a God thing, whatever. But if you don't find something that anchors you into and that keeps you honest with the whole purpose of being here, which is your love for the game anyway, you're going to float when times get tough.
Right.
When your contract's not right, all of a sudden you're not going to want to put in your work that you need to put in because you're going into practice 50% because coach doesn't respect you or doesn't let you play or your contract was lowered. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've both been there. Right? We've both been there with the contract stuff for sure. We've both been there with the coach stuff for sure. But we've also have come in every day honest and true to ourselves. Yeah. Right? You and I in particular. And still get in our work and still do what we have to do. And I honestly don't see that from a lot of younger players nowadays. Yeah. Or even over the years.
Over the years.
Yeah. The guys who didn't last in the league, who were great players, just couldn't cut it because of the business side of it. Or the political side of, you know what I mean? The politics of it or...
Pizza.
That would be nice. I think it's probably Lazada or some shit. I'm always ordering something, dog. Or Amazon. But yeah, that's what I've seen over the years. A lot of that where super talented players.
Yeah, and that messes up their work ethic, like all that stuff, judgment and all that stuff that's going in their head and contracts or whatever issues. Like you said, they come in half-assed and don't work.
Yeah.
So which fucks them up in the long run.
Yeah, it's just like you give yourself an excuse to not do something.
Yeah.
But you're really only hurting yourself.
Right.
I literally had this conversation with Charlie earlier this morning because he like rolled his ankle in a scrimmage earlier in the week.
Mm-hmm.
Then he was mad that when he went to the scrimmage, well, tonight in the States, this evening after school, he wasn't playing as well. And like he had a little bit of a knee injury prior to that. So we had the whole discussion like, what are you doing? Okay, like, all right, you say your knee was hurting a little bit and you couldn't be jumping and doing all this, this stuff. What else could you be doing? You know?
Work on your handle.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Study the game.
Yeah.
Visualize. I talk to them about visualization all the time. It was like those times where I couldn't get on the court, I'm thinking about my jumper. Or
Right.
I could be in the most random spot and I'm doing this, like thinking
anything.
I'm thinking about my shot and imagining it going in. Like you could be doing a whole number of things. I'm like, what are you doing with your time? Like you're chilling. You want to chill. So I'm like, don't be mad if your game ain't where it's supposed to be if you're chilling. Right? Like I get it. You're giving yourself that excuse like, well, I'm injured, so I can't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Or I can't play at my 100, so I'm gonna give 0. I'm like, it can't work that way, bro. So, if you give yourself excuses, we can always have an excuse to not do something.
Yeah.
So why not give yourself an excuse to keep going no matter what happens? And so, like I said, at the base of it for me, my resolve is I'm going to try my best to show up because I know my teammates are there, right? And if they can't show up, at least I'm there to help bridge the gap with everyone else and hold it together until they can, right? But then also from my own self, like this is who I resolve to be, like a resilient person no matter what. Like through all the shit that I've been through and throughout my life and my career, through my health and injuries or whatever, I keep showing up because that's just who the fuck I am, right? But that's also something that can be built with repetition, right? Yeah. I wasn't always this guy that showed. I used to quit. I was a quitter. I was afraid of ridicule and judgment, and so I would hide or I wouldn't try, and at some point it just clicked. Like I was tired of just losing and losing, even with the divorce, like just losing. It's like something got to change. I need to show up for myself.
Right.
And that's where, I feel like my career, who I am as a player now, has only gotten better since everything already had crashed. So like losing everything in the divorce, not having my kids with me here, getting injured or whatever, like all these things. I was like, all right, if I don't show up for myself, then life is just going to keep going and I'm going to keep losing. Right. And I think the final straw was when I retired in 2020 and then watching you guys play in the bubble, the first bubble, right. And losing in the finals. I felt like I knew I let the guys down because I felt like being there could have helped win that championship.
Yeah.
And so that was a big lesson for me as well. Like I had to look at myself. Like my excuse then was, well, our team manager lied to me and I didn't like that. I felt disrespected and devalued and unappreciated. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave this fucking bubble. I'm going to take my dog and I'm going to take my motorcycle and I'm leaving and y'all not hearing from me and I'm going to post and everyone's going to find out I retired through my fucking IG. All stupid moves that I'd made at that time. But the biggest one was abandoning the team at a time where they could have, needed me or could have used me at least. I've been some sort of help. So that was a big lesson for me. And from that point on, with all the losses and bad decisions that I made, I just wanted to make better ones moving forward. And I still fuck up. And I still sometimes show up and I'm in a bad mood or, life is happening. That's just the reality.
Right, yeah.
But I still try to show up. And I think it's important that we do, right? Try to show up best way we can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to. I mean, shoot.
Who else gonna do it for us, right?
Exactly. You just got to find deep down to get your ass up every morning and do it.
Yeah.
If not, shit, stay your ass in bed.
Literally. I remember Jimmy used to say that shit all the time. Remember we'll be doing terrible in the game, and at halftime we'll come in and he's like, if you're not ready to fucking play, stay your ass in this locker room.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, yeah. He's
That
right.
shit got people going.
It got him going, like, because I'm like, man, if I'm not gonna stay in this locker room, I can go out here and do what I gotta do.
Man, he had a way to just get everyone like, all right, I'm gonna turn that shit on, right?
Yeah,
Man, special guy right there.
man, super man. I think that's why we struggled so much after he left, because we were trying to fill those shoes, or trying to find some. We were looking for someone else to like do what Jimmy did for us, and there's no way. Right. And I think that's what over the years we realized it. And then you and I and Jason kind of started sitting in our own lane, in our own pocket as leaders. So we all have different ways of doing it. Yep. Right. But because of the example that Jimmy left for us, the years that we played with him, we knew what was needed. But we found our own ways to kind of fill slots the best way we could.
Yeah.
And I think we're doing a really good job, to be honest. All things considered, I think the team is fucking fortunate to have 3 guys who's been in the league so long, knowing what we know, and not afraid of sharing it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a big thing. Sharing.
Yeah.
Sharing what we learned from our past vets.
Yeah.
Because we could just be like, hey, fuck it.
Yeah, I'm going to collect my check.
Yeah.
You guys I ain't worried about y'all.
I only got 1, 2, 3 years left. I don't care.
Exactly.
Just keep winning, make me money or something. We could have been like that.
For sure.
We go in, with our, big hearts, kuyas and all that, and we're trying to pass down what we learned to these guys, and it's up to them if they want to listen and take it in.
Well,
if not, then that's on them.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of guys that came in the past 2-3 years where these guys are going to go far, because those guys are the ones that ask questions.
Yep.
Learns, respects, and you see them. You see them now. These guys, I don't want to name them, but they're doing well now.
Yeah,
doing
for sure.
Well.
Yeah, you can see it. You can see it and sense it in a player that is willing to do whatever they can do to, not just even for themselves. Like, what can they can they do for them to help the team?
Yeah.
How can I maximize myself for the sake of making this team better, or doing the best I can for the role that this team has for me, or has me in. And it's good. It's good to see. Like, it's not, all isn't lost. It's just, I don't know if it's from social media or what. Just times has changed of what the focus is on, man. And I want to get back to put your nose to the grind, put your head down, do the work, be honest to the sport, be honest to yourself, for the sake of something greater than just self.
Yeah.
All of the most successful teams had that mentality. All of my favorite ones, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, for sure. Weren't selfish or anything.
Yeah.
Wasn't thinking about themselves. They were thinking about the whole team and everyone else winning as a whole.
Yeah, man. My top teams, like, growing up, I never really was a fan of Cali until, like, I think you were the first.
Yeah.
I think you were the first guy from Cali. I was like, oh, he's actually pretty cool. All right, they got some cool people out there. Nah, but I grew up watching, the Showtime Lakers, the Bad Boys, obviously the Bulls, Not so much the Boston Celtics for some reason, but they obviously had that mentality as well, like, whatever needs to be done.
To the coach's system.
The
whatever.
coach of the
coach.
and what they needed
Yep.
for each other, right? Anyway,
Trying to get an all-star team and everything. right?
yeah, like pure talent, like talent
Yeah.
wins championships. And it's like,
Nah.
no, man, that system, that selflessness. There's so many different aspects of
That balance.
that. Exactly.
You gotta have the right balance. You can't have all 10 guys trying to score 20,
Yeah. The respect.
right?
The
Respect's a big thing.
That's a big one, man.
Big thing.
Chad always talks about trust.
Mm-hmm.
Trust is a huge thing, and it has to. It can't just come between. It's not even just between the players. It's with the coach.
Mm.
You know, everyone that's involved with the organization, there has to be a level of trust. That's what I think a bit what we're lacking now, to be honest with you. We can't really get, I guess, considering our position, we can't get too honest and transparent about that. But from a bird's eye view, for me, trying to take myself out of it and my bias out of it, there's a lot. But understanding what's happening in the team, there's a lack of trust, and it's understandable with the newer guys because trust takes time.
Mm-hmm.
There needs to be experiences. There needs to be time spent and deeper conversations than just what happens on the court. So I get it, but be it, like I said, be it contract stuff or, guys having their own issues, personal issues, from their perspective with what's happening with the team, there's just a kind of a divide that kind of takes away from the trust, right?
Yeah.
And we got to get back to that. And I think it's important to have that with any team setting. If you want to be successful, you got to definitely have trust. This is just as important as the respect, right? And the buying in.
It is. But yeah, we do lack that trust in our team right now.
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, but you can see it around the league as well. The teams that aren't doing really well, where they
that are
could
supposed to be well.
Exactly.
Yeah, we got that star-studded team. The lineup looks great, but not playing well.
Yeah.
Something's wrong. Usually it's trust, right?
It's you. Yeah, and you can kind of see it. You can see it in the way they complain to each other and whatever.
Yeah.
But then that's not a secret.
Yeah, whether it's trust between player and player, player coach, management player,
Yeah.
management coach. Yeah, that's all got to
That's what I'm saying. That's why these championships
clear.
are so. Yeah, that's why these championships are so precious because so many things had to be working correctly.
Yeah.
For it to win. You had to have, at the very base of it, you had to have healthy bodies by the finals, which is already a tough thing when you're playing in a physical league and you have game, you know what I mean?
Right.
To get to the finals, you have to go through the gauntlet physically. You got to have guys mentally there. You got to have skilled guys no matter what. You could talk about how you don't need the best talent, but you got to have some talented guys. You got to put points on the board. You got to get defense. You got to get stops. Like you got to have guys that know the game with skills. So that's having the right pieces in place, having healthy bodies, but then now their healthy mind.
Big one.
Right? That's the biggest part of it. Having a healthy mind going into there. They're not burdened with, like, it's an extra burden if you have to think about whether you're going to have a contract in the next week because you expired last week and you're trying to figure out, you're talking with your agent and the management about contracts, and we got game 1 of the semifinals coming up right now. Yeah. Do you have, like, did you work out the grudge or, whatever feelings you had towards another or your teammate or something with the coach? Like, is there something going on there? There's all these things that shit weighs down on you, right? On your heart and your mind. Was all that cleared going into the finals? Because if it's not, then you're most likely not gonna.
You're clouded.
Yeah. So there's so many things that have to work to just win a championship, and it's not just physical and talent. And I don't think a lot of people understand that. So to do what we did is definitely. I at the time I didn't think about it, but looking back, all the championships that we've won, all of them were special in their own regards because of all the shit that we went through to get there, right? You
Yes.
think about Ali Peak getting shot.
Right.
Who the fuck can plan? You can't plan that.
Excuse me.
You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, that huge championship when you lost your brother in the finals, right? Like, there's so much that a lot of people don't understand that goes into these championships. Like, I'm pausing because I want to almost go back to that time. If you're okay with it.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Man.
well, we were roommates.
Yeah.
At that time, we were out of town.
Out of town. I think that was Bacolod.
Bacolod, right?
Yep.
Playing
San Miguel.
San Miguel.
Yeah, I learned that night before my mom called. It's crazy, and I was wondering, like, why is she calling? You know, it was like 1, 2 in the morning. Something, and it was different. Crying, you know, it was hard. What's wrong? What's wrong? And she couldn't talk. I was like, what's wrong? What's wrong? And then she just couldn't say it. And then I just hear her crying, and I think my younger brother, Christian, took the phone and told me everything. Hey, Raymond's gone. Huh? What are you talking about? Yeah, Raymond's gone. I was like, what are you talking to? You know, I wasn't thinking, like, gone. Okay, where'd he go? Like, what happened? And that's when he said, oh, he got in a car accident. And I was just like, oh, shit. Like, what the fuck happened? You know, and it sucked because me being so far away from my brothers and family, you know, talking to them every day, not every day, you know, more and more often as we get older, and, you know, promising him, like, hey, do good in your exams and all that stuff when you're done with school. Hey, I'll fly you out here to the Philippines, and, you know, we can hang out and stuff before you start going to work and all that, you know. And then hearing that happen to my brother, it just hurt a lot. Hurt a lot. But, man, it was hard. Because we were, I don't know, I think we already played game 1, I think. Played game 1.
Yeah.
Game 2 was in Bacolod, so we fly out. I didn't even go to the parade or whatever guesting, or, you know, things that we do usually when we're out of town, and I just went straight to the room. And all I could think about was my brother, my family in the States, and, you know, what they're going through, and I'm not there, you know. I wanted to get out of there already. I wasn't thinking basketball, you know.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking basketball. I just wanted to be with my mom, be with my brother and my dad, and everything.
I think that's what it was. That was what, because we talked that night, and I remember when you said you were gonna play this game.
Yep.
And then you'll go back.
And go back. Play this game, play another game. And then leave that night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that shit was unbelievable to me. Cause we cried together. Like, I couldn't imagine what you were going through at that time. Like, and for you to be able to say that, like, through tears, through everything in your body telling you wanted to be with your family and needed to be with your family, you know, for you to do that speaks so much of who you are as a person. And I think that, you know, we talk about the basketball gods, you know, they shined a light on you, on us, and I think because of you, all right, that gave us so much, like, strength and, like, fuck, Ryan's grinding this shit out. We need to win this for him and his family. Like, those are the types of things that you can't script. Right? You can't build that into a system and try to put guys through that for the sake of winning. Like, you believed so much in obviously yourself but in this team. So that's like one of the most selfless things I've probably ever seen someone do, like personally witness. And that spread to us. Like, I hold on to that to this day. Like, I remember that. So like when I think about the shit that I go through, I'm like, man, fucking what Ryan went through.
Right.
Like, what can I really say right now? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, dude.
That was a crazy moment in my life, and it was hard. It was tough. I know that game too, where like, all right, in the locker room, we got to get ready. I had to like turn this off. All right, whatever's outside that's going on right now, we got to focus on this game and win. Because that's what we want to do. That was, that's our plan as a group, as a team, as brothers. Like, we had to get the job done. All right, let me put my stuff, what I'm going through, aside real quick, just for an hour or two. Play the game, try the best I can, without thinking about all the, what happened in the States. And it was hard to do that. It was hard.
How did you do that?
So, I don't even know. I just, one thing that I know my brother was talking to me, my younger brother, when we were going through all this, when I was going through all that, he was just like, hey, what would Raymond want? What would my brother want? He'd want me to finish this. He'd want me to get a championship. He'd want me to go out there and play. Go out there and play the best I can. And that's what I did. Put all this stuff aside, focused on the game. And I just, I don't know if I told anyone this or I would always talk to them in the game. During that time, I was talking to them like, hey, I know you're here with me right now. Let me get through this.
Oh, man.
Help me get through this. And he did. I felt it. I really felt it.
Wow.
Game 4, especially Game 4, after I came back from his funeral. Game 4 or 5? Game 5, because I missed Game 4. And I think, Game 5. And that, like I said, that whole time, every game we played, I would always just talk to him. Like, hey, I know you're here. Help us get this. We need this. It was good. I mean, I felt that he was there with me, by my side, playing. What's like that movie? What's that one movie? You ever seen that one movie? Where,
Sixth Man?
The Sixth Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think about that movie more than I should, but yeah.
Right, where the dude just tosses the ball and his brother's,
he's up on the backboard and throws it in there.
Yeah. It was kind of like that. I felt like he was out there helping us.
Was that the series where you got the league record?
No, it wasn't.
That was a different one?
That was a different one.
Okay.
That was a different one. I think we played San Miguel this one. The league one was Powerade.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was that the finals though?
That was the finals. Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
10. That came up on the trivia.
Oh, did it?
You weren't at that game.
I don't think so.
Yeah, it was recent. It came up in trivia. Who has the league record for steals in
I
the
was
finals
sick.
game?
It's not that I didn't want to come. I was sick that game.
That's what you're supposed to say. Nah, yeah, they put it up there. As soon as I saw it, I was like, Ryan. Again, the person guessed it wrong. I was like, nope, that's not. It's Ryan. That's crazy. 10 steals. I don't think that's going to be a while till somebody gets that or gets close, probably.
Shoot, I want someone to break it, actually.
In the finals.
That means that, the game is evolving and the game is getting better.
Yeah, you would love to see it.
Yeah.
It's just that's a very rare thing.
Yeah, in the finals.
In the finals, though.
10? Was that 10?
10, yeah.
I was probably...
You were that's where you got
C4 and beginning of the game and after.
Did they have C4 back? It was probably like what they call that. What's that thing?
What is that?
The red one.
The
Not Red Bull. That's the other one. There's a.
Oh man.
You know what I'm talking about. It's like a little bottle. Anyway, you were off something.
Yeah. When we go back and think about it, it's crazy. Like I was just in the moment, just playing the game.
Yeah.
I wasn't. Hey, I got 8 steals. I'm gonna try to go for 2 more. I was thinking that.
Yeah.
You know, like maybe
You probably didn't even. Did you even know how many you had?
No,
Right.
not at all. I didn't even. No one like. None of our utilities tell us like, hey, you did a record or whatever. What?
Right.
They don't tell us, or they don't tell us, hey, you got 9 rebounds, get 1 more, get a double or something. They don't tell us any of that. So
Yeah.
we're just playing.
That's
We're
crazy.
just playing. It's crazy. Yeah.
There was one game we were still with Santa Lucia. I think we were playing Coca-Cola, and I don't know if it was my rookie year or second.
It's probably your second because I was
Probably
in
my
there your
second.
rookie year. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I wasn't there
second
yet.
year. But I remember Boyette pulled me to the side. It was like 3 minutes left in the fourth. And he was like, you got 9 assists. You just need 1 more to get a triple-double. And so I was out there trying to get
pass
there,
it.
like trying to drive and drop it down to somebody. Everybody was missing. And then I found out it was like, oh no, I only had 7 assists. And I'm like, mother, leave me out there. So that's the closest I'm ever gonna get. You know, I didn't like I don't say I didn't like passing because people might really believe that. I'm like, shoot, if it comes to shooting or passing, I'm trying to shoot that mug. No, man. I didn't even look at my stats. Like that was a thing. Like for years, I wouldn't even look at the stat sheet.
I don't look at that stuff
Yeah.
either. I don't even look at that after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I look at them now because I'm actually looking for different things. Like, what are we not doing as a team?
Right.
But
Like,
for my own
what are we
stats,
lacking?
I
Are we
don't-
not rebounding?
Exactly.
Are we doing too many
Did
turnovers?
we get out rebounded?
Yeah.
How much did the bench score more than ours, or fast break, second chance points? Like that's the stuff I look at.
Right.
Even these games I haven't been playing in, I'm looking at it. But for my own stuff, I think I've only really wanted to look at it twice. There was once for my career high because I wanted to know. I knew I had shot it well. And then another game where I hit a lot of threes, and I wanted to see how my percentage. But other than that, was this 18th year? I don't know what year this is for me in the league, but
Excuse me.
like I literally,
I don't know.
Probably
17, 18,
yeah,
19 maybe because you're a year ahead.
I can count on one hand how many times I've looked for the you know what I'm saying, the stat sheet,
Yeah.
which is I think rare in itself. Anyway, man, I don't how long have we been going, Kurt?
117 minutes.
Hour 17.
Damn, that felt short.
I was gonna say we went over a little bit.
No, that's cool. I can keep talking already. We
Okay.
can have another part 2 if you want.
Yeah, that would be great. There's a lot more that we
Hey,
could
I
talk
like
about.
this actually. First time doing this is pretty cool. It
Yeah,
felt
I
like it
gonna
was
say,
just 30 minutes.
Good, man. Well, imagine if I used to keep I used to come in here just and have whiskey. Like there's cigars here.
Hey, I'm gonna be talking
Seriously,
shit.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Though. That's for we'll say that for after when we're after. No, but that's literally what that's the plan for this thing, dog. Like you wanna have some whiskey and cigars, we can do that. You wanna have some coffee, we can do that.
Yes, definitely.
You know what I'm
do
saying? Like that's the whole project. Just look behind the curtain, dog. Like literally what this whole thing's about, dog. Like have people come in. Let's just be real, as real as you want to get.
Mhm.
Let's get to know you, like that, past, the persona. But yeah, man, you're always welcome. Anytime you got time, shit, come through. We can
Definitely
record.
whiskey for sure.
Let's do it for real.
Yeah.
We don't got to get like fucked up. We can
Nah,
just,
nah.
you know what I'm saying?
That just
We can
like-
drink like grown
Yeah,
men. You
yeah.
know what I mean? Like that, which is what I do anyway. Like I'm more of a nightcapper nowadays.
Yeah?
Anyway, dog. Yeah.
I stopped that. I
I
know
don't
why.
nightcap for real. I'm saying like as far as how much I drink, like
Right.
I can sip 1 or 2 and I'm good.
And you're good. Yeah, I can do that.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like
We can do that, and we got to do another one maybe where we just fucked up and just
That'd
whatever
be
happens,
funny,
and we
too.
just watch it.
right.
Like,
Yeah.
oh shit,
We might not publish that one.
Yeah.
but that would
that's
be
behind
funny.
the scenes. Yeah.
Get a third seat and then have like fucking, I don't know. That can go all kinds of ways. But yeah, man. No, I appreciate you, dog. Got love for the family always. And
Likewise.
yeah, dog. Always gonna be here for you.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate you coming through, dog.
Definitely, yeah.
We'll see
Thank you.
what happens. And fuck the comments, regardless, whichever way it go. You know what I'm saying? All love.
Yeah. God bless you.
Right. No, appreciate you, dog.
Too, man.
Yeah.